Now, I must say, it was not looking good for the Lemons there for quite some time. I mean, yes, we got Tubbs Pacer and Vladimir Trunkov in 2023, but they were some of the rarer singles of that year. Then we got nothing last year. And now out of nowhere here in 2025, we've gotten both Acer and here we have Grem. Very, very exciting. Let me query you guys this. When was the last time just regular Grem has been released as a single? 2011. It has been 14 years since we've seen this guy just released regularly as a single. Now, he has been released in multi-packs. He's gotten some variant releases over the years as well, but just a regular Grem, 14 years. Whereas for Acer, it was only 10, which is still pretty crazy for relatively high up characters in Cars 2. But we all know Mattel kind of gives Cars 2 the short end of the stick. But I feel like a lot of us look back upon it quite fondly. And even though it's so different from a lot of everything else, really, that they've done in the Cars franchise, it's pretty awesome. I have a great time with that movie. There's so much depth to it, so much character, so much world building. Yeah. I actually really, honestly, retrospectively enjoy it now. Maybe even a bit more than Cars 3, which I know is controversial. But that's a topic for another day. Today, we will be reviewing the Thailand variant, brand new, for Grem. One of the main villains in Cars 2. The Gremlin, of course, the head of the Gremlins. Or Jay Kirby is technically the head of the Gremlins. But you guys know what I'm saying. So, I know we're doing things a little bit backwards. Now, if you're watching this in the future, it might not matter, but usually I do the case videos first, and then we break down into the individual releases, the highlights of the case, and review them all, right? Well, Case T not only is just not available to buy sealed online, all the major resellers just have not gotten it in from Mattel yet. So I'm getting impatient because it's being found across the world. Australia, UK, Europe, and USA and Target stores, or USA, Target, and Walmart stores. I have been fortunate enough to find quite a bit of Case T from a couple Walmarts and just one Target. Now, the problem is I have not found a Joe Don Jackson, and now it is his first time being released on the Red Riders packaging, which means I need him for the case video. Like, I need him in order to complete the case. I found everything else, which is kind of weird. Like, I went to Target, they had all the best ones. McQueen with Shovel, Fishtail, and Grem. Like, those are the three new variants. They are the three highlights, indisputably, of the case. Everything else is old and is re-released. Went to Walmart, found myself a GRC Cruz, and those are the only new cars to packaging in the case. Joe Don Jackson is the one thing keeping us between doing a case video. Even though it wouldn't be an unboxing, I'd at least have all the cars to show you. So I was like, let's just dive into the reviews first. Do things a little bit reverse. Why not? We'll get back to the video. Maybe, you know, in that time, I can get the full sealed case and we can unbox it. I'd prefer to do that rather than just show you guys the cars just raw. Like, I'd rather pull them out of the box. You guys know what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, Grem looks great here. It's his OG artwork. Looking slimy, looking greasy, as he should. Greasy old Grem. On the back here, we have Otis, Acer, and Grem. What a trio of lemons. Let's remember that Otis, yes, he is indeed a lemon. He is what introduces the audience to the idea of lemons at the very beginning of the movie. Well, I guess we had already seen the lemons go down, but he kind of like reinforces that idea and shows that like not all lemons are evil, evil psycho villains. But yeah, it's kind of a cool trio. Wish they did more from Cars 2 this year, but you know, like I said earlier, Mattel gives that movie the short end of the good old stick. So I'll be right back with Grem open. I've had the luxury of finding 3 of them already. I found, no, what was it? No, I actually only found 2. But I had ordered one already just because I was getting so impatient. Actually, quick story, guys. So, on Monday of last week, I go ahead and order Grem, McQueen with Shovel, and Fishtail off Mercari. Pretty cheap. It was like $13 per car. Then on Friday, I go out and I find almost the full case at Target, minus basically Joe Don Jackson, Slim Hood, and GRC Cruz. I come home. Bing, bang, boom. I have the package from Mercari. I have everything I just found. So now I have 2 of everything. Then I go to Walmart the next day. I find Grem, Fishtail, and McQueen with Shovel all again. Of course, the half case at Walmart doesn't include Jodon Jackson, which is a major L. Doesn't have Slim Hood either. So yeah, at least it had the best 3 of the case, which I guess, aren't even the most popular. Jodon Jackson's proving to be. All right, I will open this guy up now. Here is Mr. Grem all opened up. We're obviously going to do a China versus Thailand comparison here, but first, there is Grem in Cars 2. Obviously, like I said, pretty high up character, so he appears many times in the movie, many different situations, many countries. How did he have the passport? Like, how was he able? I mean, I'm sure, bad guys, are able to figure out all that stuff sneakily and under the table, but, man, he was in Tokyo. I mean, he was in every country. Yeah, I mean, he was Tokyo, Italy, and eventually the UK. Was he in France? No, he wasn't in France. No one was in France, I don't think. Just Tom Bay. All right. Here is my Chinese version of Grem, which is a segmented piece, as you can see, with the bumper being a separate plastic piece. Not part of the main metal body. You can see by the crack right there. They have now switched that to be a unibody, a full one-piece car, except for the eyes. Now, the eyes are a separate plastic piece, but it doesn't look as obtrusive as that ugly mouth plate there. So I am a big fan of that. I also kind of like the color change. It's a little bit of a softer orange, not quite as bright and not quite as vibrant. I think that's a good, accurate shift in the shade of orange, so I will take that as well. I also think his eyes look better. They moved them down, made them a little bit smaller, closer together, not as robotic. Added the eyeliner, gave it more depth. I think it looks quite a bit improved there. So Thailand off to a phenomenal start here. Let's zoom in. You have the Gremlin text there on the intake of the hood. Yeah, I'd say it looks pretty good. Not the clearest thing in the world, but neither is the Chinese one. You have the red X there on the grill, which looks way better on the Thailand version than it does on the Chinese version. He's got his little S-shaped mouth. Is that a Jackson Storm reference? They were planning it all along. Anywho, you got Thailand on top, just so you're aware there. Gremlin X in the hockey stripe. Classic, right? The iconic Gremlin hockey black stripe there. Looks pretty good. Again, you do have the Gremlin text here. I'd say this is one of the clearer Thailand decals I've ever seen. Like, that text just feels different from other text I've seen on other Thailand variants. Like, it's almost like they found something out. Like, they figured it out, guys. That looks really good. I mean, again, maybe it's not quite as clear just because the font is boldened a little bit, but I think it looks really good. And obviously, just like the Chinese version, you have some wear and tear and some dirt and grime around the fenders there. The Chinese version, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, man, I got it backwards there for a second. Yeah, so again, though, what I was saying, this is really clear. This is the Thailand version on top. That is really clear text. So the font on the Thailand version is thinner. It's bolder on the Chinese version. I think this font looks better. I think the hockey stripe, it's more of a pure black. This looks more of a gray to me. Like, so, wow, the Thailand version looks phenomenal. The grime and the dirt around the fenders there and the other black stripe looks really good, realistic. This more here is cloudy and smudgy. This is a little bit more spotted and precise. A little grainy, but in a good way, right? Because that's what dirt is. It's granular bits of grit, essentially. Got kind of the brown wheels. I would say that the roof rack there being a lighter gray is not preferable. I like the darker gray, but we all know that's something that Thailand tends to do quite a bit. All right, we got the Thailand version on the right now. We're not going to mix them up. Wrecked, W-R-E-K-D for the license plate. I'd say that looks better, guys. Did Thailand finally figure it out? Like, I'd say that the Thailand license plate looks better than the Chinese version. I think it looks clearer. I think the AMC logo. Now, this logo is pretty gnarly, but I mean, we don't really see what it is on the Chinese version anyways. The circular logo there for the trunk looks really good. Guys, did we figure it out? This might be one of the best Thailand variants ever. The bumper looks really good and dirtied up. The windows now are more opaque. I'm flabbergasted. These taillights are a little orangier, not as dark. This is one of the best Thailand variants I think Mattel has ever done. And now the Acer, the Thailand variant of Acer that we reviewed, I don't think was this much better. Like, it was maybe a little bit better than the Chinese version, not this much better. So I am very impressed, guys. Let's take a look here at the base. U02A means he was produced during the second week of 2025 at the A factory. So we are officially into the next year in terms of production. If you guys watched my video over the weekend on the race and rescue first look, you would know that we came across a Rally Cruz Ramirez that was produced during the fourth week of 2025. So you're going to start seeing these more and more, and then you're not going to see anything produced in 2024. That'll all obviously fade off into the oblivion. But this is great, guys. I'm pumped. Like, what the hell, Mattel? You guys figured it out. The decals look phenomenal. Everything, I wouldn't say, the only thing maybe is the roof rack that is a downgrade, and the side view mirrors. I think the color of the side view mirrors and the roof rack is a little bit better on the Chinese version, but everything else, incredible. The dirt, the grime, the expression, the unibody in the front bumper there, the text in the back. Wow, I'm really happy with this. And I just don't think that when we did the Acer review, which thanks, by the way, for the support on that video did quite well. Like, I think the expression's better. I think there are elements that are better, but it didn't strike me as this novel. You know, the Grem here is just really blowing me away. But anywho, before we fully move on, I do want to show Grem's other variants. Now, he, like Acer, has a couple expression variants. This is the In Trouble version. The squinty eyes from the left turn in bar when he's getting beat to crap by all those Brits who just got their beers spilled on them. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice expression, but, you know, it's still the bright orange, still has all those other Chinese elements, except for the fact that they had already changed him to be a unibody at this point. Now, I'm sure some more expert-like people out there will be able to correct me on this, but I am not sure if they ever did a Chinese unibody of just regular Grem. Like, is there a unibody of this, just the regular version of Grem? Like I said, he was not released as a single again, but he did receive a couple multi-pack releases, but they were all still pretty early on. Like, I don't think regular Grem has been released since like 2013 or 2012. Like, it's been a while, so he might never have gotten upgraded until the Thailand version here. Because here's another like early 2011 version of Grem. This was the one included in the Walmart exclusive 2-pack with Thymic Missile with Weapon. Those were awesome 2-packs, by the way, because you got a new car like Thymic Missile with Weapon or Fred Fishboski. Well, I guess that, yeah, Fred Fishboski was paired with Holly Schiffwell. Tyler Gremlin was paired with Professor Z. So Professor Z in that multi-pack did have a unique expression. That was a variant. The Acer with Mater with the Spyglass, both of those were new. Acer was an expression variant. So the only one was Fred Fishboski with the Holly Schiffwell. Holly Schiffwell didn't have a unique expression, but this was Grem. And who was he released with? I'm blanking on who. No, because there was the Grem with Damage Rod Torque Redline, but that was just a regular version of Grem. Now, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comment section below. I'm just blanking on who he got released in the Walmart exclusive 2-pack, which I know is a crazy thing to say in 2025. Like, Walmart had exclusive 2-packs that weren't accessory 2-packs. But anyways, this was 2013 Grem with Weapon. So by this point, he had been upgraded to the unibody, as you can see there. Nice new expression. Then 2014, he got the with the camera version, a deluxe. But it's understandable because you do get this full plastic accessory of the camera here. And you got the Grem basically with the earpiece. So it was a nice 2-in-1 there. Then in 2015 was the left turn in trouble variant. And then the last version that we got of Grem was 2016's with helmet, which he was an exclusive in that 2-pack because Acer had already been released with the helmet several years prior. So there is all your Grem lore. Now for your Gremlin history here, Tyler Gremlin was released in early 2011, 2012, exclusive to Walmart. That's why he is still the unibody here. But yeah, a nice red Gremlin, very rare, one of the rare releases. 2013, you got J. Kirby Gremlin. Very nice, nicely colored. Not a big fan of his expression, but another pretty rare release. Although there are factory customs of him out there now, so that's kind of squashed that. I guess I skipped out on Don Crumlin here. I know, weird name, Crumlin. But he got released in 2012. Just a random purple Gremlin looking a little frightened. Then in 2016, you got Stefan Gremsky looking off to the side. You guys know I love that. This also has turned out to be a pretty rare release over the years. There's a prototype where he's got a bright orange door because they often compared these other Gremlin and Pacer releases to the Grem and Acers. So that's why there's like a prototype of Jerome Ramp that looks like Acer. Anyways, then at the end of 2016, you got Toga Gremlin here, another really nice one, and also ended up being quite rare. So yeah, those are your Gremlins that Mattel has done. And here's a custom from Jim Scavenger of a black Gremlin from the Mob Bosses. So this guy would be working directly for J. Kirby Gremlin. I will be getting another similar Gremlin soon, and then I will review both of them in one video. And then I will get a black Pacer, and then I'll feel really good about myself because I would have I have always wanted Mattel to release a black Pacer and Gremlin. I don't know why they never did, because they did do the black trunk of, who was, what was his name? Tolga? Yeah, they did a Tolga trunk of and a Toga Gremlin. It's a little strange. And then they did Alexander Hugo with the party hat, so that's a black Hugo. Would have preferred if they did a naked black Hugo, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. It's always what I say. But guys, let me know in the comment section below. Who do you prefer, Acer or Grem? I think both are improvements on their Chinese counterparts. Now all we need is for Professor Z to get a Thailand release, and the world will finally be at balance. I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye now.